Hey, we are live. This is the Orange County Model A Ford Club, Orange County, California. This is their annual pancake breakfast. This isn't even actually, well, I mean, they encourage everybody to bring their cars down, but this is early Ford specific. This is something a lot of our viewers um, are very interested in. I'm at the very end of the line here. This is it looks like a 30. So we're just gonna walk and I'm gonna talk because there is a lot to take in, a whole lot to take in. This looks like a 40 Deluxe. It's another. So these guys they participate a lot, but this isn't obviously not a Ford. Really Chevrolet pickup. This looks like a custom-built 32. Now, technically, a 32 isn't a Model A. It would be a Model 18 or a Model B, depending on the engine. But, well, this guy's got his engine on display. 59A5. That is like show quality. This is trimmed and propered, and the seat belts are laid down and everything. It's got a 28 or 29 Model A. So on our 28s and 29s, we notice this little ridge right here on the body. So the Model A, 28, 29, 30, and 31. A lot of people generalize the 32 into the Model A category, but technically the 32 would be a Model 18 or a Model B. The 30, 31 Model A and the 32, very, very similar. From the outside, it's really hard to tell the difference. This is a 32. The big difference in the 32 is that the V8 flathead, the 21 stud, was offered in 1932 for the first year, and the Model A would have a gas tank right here where this cowl vent is. But when they introduced the V8, they weren't able to get the amount of fuel pressure that they wanted, so they had to move the gas tank to the rear and put in a fuel pump. This rumble seat right here. So the 32, the body length is 2.5 inches longer to make up for that gas tank. Now, on the frame and the suspension, there's all kinds of differences, but if you're just looking at the outside body, it's really hard to tell if it's a 32 or 30, 31. Here we have a full fender 3-window 32, it looks like. So I don't know how much of this you guys can see. There's early Fords for as far as the eye can see. Early Fords for as far as the eye. This has like a nice it's a Hudson Terraplane front clip that they've molded the 32 hood to made up with. So it gives it more aerodynamics. I'm befuddled. There is so much stuff going on here. So much stuff going on here. Here we go with this is a roadster pickup. If you're gonna do a pickup, this is the most desirable pickup. This is a 30 or 31 Model A. '38 Lincoln Zephyr. 1938 Lincoln Zephyr. gonna take my time. You might hear me not talk for a little bit. I should really fill in the voids with narration, but I get these are, yeah. So here we have the 33 4-door. So right here in 1933, this is what they refer to as a suicide door. The door opens from the front cowl portion and swings back, make it easier to get in and out of the vehicle. They call it the suicide door because if it perhaps flew open while you were driving, there was a very high propensity for people to actually fall out of the vehicle during a turn. '28-29 Roadster, Model A. This is a Camaro. He's just parked in the handicap spot. This is just, as far as the eye can see, there's just Model A's and early Fords, and we'll come back. I'm wide awake. I got a good night's sleep, so I'll sit here and bore you guys with all this stuff. We're gonna do a long video today. So here's a Model A. It's got what looks like a stock banger engine. See the ignition comes through. I have to get a lot of video of this stuff so that way I know what I'm doing when I take apart my Model A that I have in the garage. Look at that rumble seat. So this is a 30 or 31. I believe this will be a Roadster, even though it does have a roof. The Roadsters don't have windows. This is a 28-29 Tudor. It's a full fender car. So they would call it, I think, a buckskin interior. Look at the whole top. This is vinyl. It has wood bows underneath, and then they put, no, it's not vinyl, it would have been leather at the time. Here's a 30 or 31 Phaeton. They're referring to it as the Purple Penguin. This is a custom paint job. This would not have been an offering from Ford at the time. That little decal, that's pretty funny. I dig it. All right, so here's another Roadster pickup. This would be a 28 or 29. It says 29 on the license plate, so we'll assume that it's a 29. And so here's that gas tank on the front that would power the 4-banger 4-cylinder engine. It's a pretty cool shift knob. It's got some firefighter gear in the back. American flag, patriotic stuff. All right, here's a Tudor. With the exposed banger. So a lot of people take the hoods off of these things on purpose because they actually slightly prone to overheating when you put some serious load underneath them. So by pulling the hood off, it allowed it to breathe a lot better. This is 28 or 29. The Tudor. Number 4 Galaxy. Just cruising through. So here we go. This is a full fender, full hood, 31 Model A. Right here you see the bone stock restored 4-banger. They have this updraft carburetor in there. So I like the updraft carburetor because if you leave the engine exposed, then you don't have to worry about getting the water in it if it rains or something. Take a look at that interior. This one's been done up. It's got the rumble seat as well. Not a big fan of the rumble seat. Like, firstly, difficult to get in. Secondly, look at the legroom you got in there. You're not kind of trapped in there. The only people that really fit in there are kids. So we used to call it the mother-in-law seat, so that way you didn't have to hear her complain while you're driving. Here's another 30 or 31. It's got the rumble seat step on it. So here's a 4-door. This one has the rear suicide door. I like the way that these open up. So we're at the Orange County, California Model A Ford Club Pancake Breakfast. So everybody's bringing their Model A Ford out. If you're in the Model A Ford Club, obviously you probably have a Model A Ford. So the members of the club, which is a very large club, are bringing their cars out. Let's check it out. Here's the 31 Tudor. So this next car right here, I want to get. We got a 31. They refer to these as the Woody station wagon. These right here, they would take the cabs off of the cow. They would extend the body using this wood right here, wood planks, plywood, solid oak, whatever they had available to them. They even got a steering, that's a boat steering wheel. That's pretty neat. I think that's funny. There we are. This would be a people carrier. These were quite popular in the day. We're gonna be here for a long time. This little suitcase in the back, this is a popular add-on. That's a traveling or a businessman's suitcase, traveling salesman case. It's a Roadster. It's a 30 or 31. So the Model A's were quite popular in their time because Ford was offering them in different colors. This is what we would call a coupe. Some people refer to this as a 5-window, but in the Model A, they didn't have a 3-window. So this is just the coupe option. I learned that. So I always called it a 5-window. I didn't find out that there was no 3-window until 32. It's another one of the body styling. If you see a 3-window, you know it's a 32 and not a Model A. Look at this, 3031. It's a rumble seat. It's a Continental tire on the back. Little display of the Banger engine. 29 pickup. Full soft top. This is a preserved condition, not restored. I appreciate something like this where it's in its natural state. The patina that you would find in something like a vintage coin or something. But I do also enjoy and appreciate the amount of time and effort and skill it takes for someone to go through and do a full restoration just like this one. Just stock motor color is green. So the Model T, in comparison, it was often said that you could have a Model T in any color as long as that color was black. So in the Model A, when they started offering color option, it was very popular with the people who enjoyed the Ford. So this would be your trunk. Technically, this is your rear deck lid, and you could have it as a trunk space, storage space, or as a rumble seat. And then this little piece of luggage right here was your actual trunk. But that's why we start calling the rear part the trunk. Said it's a police car. It's a 31 Tudor. I really love these old cars. I don't know what it is. Just obsessed with old cars. So it's a 4-door, 1930. See how the front door is going to open in the what we call the suicide position. It's got the goose radiator cap on there. It's very popular. So this right here is another variation of the Model A. This is what they call a sport coupe. It has a full convertible top, but it's got doors and windows on it. You should be able to fully retract this top right here, and the Continental tire. So here, this one, rear mounted tire is referred to the Continental. This is a fender mount tire. It's just different styles. It limits how much you can open the door with that fender mount tire. Side by side, you can see it. The 28 Tudor, or two-door Tudor. It looks like the roof on this one has been filled in. We got some vintage gas welding for the sheet metal to go over the top. Or maybe they just left the vinyl and painted it. Or I'm sorry, the leather and painted it with the fabric and painted it. These Model A wheels are, I mean, they're welded spokes, but they're very unpopular. Model A spokes are with the racing crowd. This guy's got some speed equipment on his. You can't see it. It's a 31. Got a hopped up exhaust. All right. Here's another, what we got here? 3031. That's a modern add-on. It's a modern front trunk. A frunk. It's another rumble seat style. Here's a full roadster. Still has the convertible top on it. You see there's no windows on the doors. It's a full fender car. Traditional pickup. It's got the visor. That's another way you could tell a 32 from a 3031 is that the 3031 has a visor, but the 32 does not. A lot of people remove the visor so they can see better. But on the pickups are different. They basically kept the same cab from 30 to 34 in the pickups. They just changed the grill a little bit. I take that back. I misspoke. We could review this 30 pickup. As I said before, they offered the V8 and 32, so this front tank would be gone. But on the cab, that would be for the cowl section. The cab section kept that visor for the pickup for 32, 33, and 34. So they would have an industrial grill in a 32, 33, and 34 pickup. They're all very, very common. So here we have a Model A with no cowl. 4-door. Got a rear trunk. It's a 31 4-door. Paying homage to the United States Marines. See that? Those glass was and this etched glass is very popular. Looks like we have a staff sergeant here. A 3031 Model A. So I was here when they were driving in and I didn't have my camera ready. I should have recorded all of that. That would have been awesome to see them all drive in. Look at this guy. It's a two-door 3031. It's a sweet build. This looks like an 80s build, maybe early 90s. You know, you have your modified Model A's, your stored Model A's. This is a four-door 30 or 31. It says 31 on the license plate. Here's a hot-rodded Model A Roadster. There's another hot rod. This has got a lot of the modern amenities to it. Looks like it's got a modern transmission. This more modern front suspension. It's still got the solid axle, but it has modern chrome shocks, and those are actually disc brakes hidden inside those drums. It's got a 32 front radiator shell. This one has, this one's been basically just restored. Look at that. That's so gorgeous. Little extra lights in there. This is sounds like still people pulling in. So we started all the way at the end. This is the end of the show. All of these cars were driven in here. These are 95-year-old cars. 94, 95. There's a black and white cab. Alright, so these are some other classic cars. They're not Model A's. Pardon me. Excellent, excellent. This looks like a 48 Chevrolet. Here's a 57 Bel Air wagon. It's a 5-window Chevrolet pickup truck. Here's a hot rodded out 1940 Ford. This would be a Buick limo. Looks like about a 1940 Buick. Here's another 1940 Ford V8 Deluxe. Let's look at this guy some more. Five window in progress. Another 40. There's another This is, I was telling you about the Sport Coupe. It's got windows, and the Roadster doesn't have windows. Here's one with the top down. Here's a four-door. Another people carrier, Woody wagon, 3031. Pickup truck.
Whatever you want to do, you want to go have breakfast?
Yeah,
Oh shit. Well, see, Jamie's was the same way, and it's how.
These are the organizers parking, so we'll just look at these guys in the middle. Just zooming past that Hemi right there. There's like a 33, 34. We're gonna come up the middle on these guys right here. This is a rolling history right here. They just left it as if that's exactly what I plan on doing. Just leave it. I might make, like, if there's like a safety issue or if it's gonna fall apart, I'll repair it as best as I can for historical correctness. But it's a 1930. It's a 29. 29 shooter. If you guys are interested, this one's for sale. It's a running, driving, it's a driver condition show car. It's not like a full, it's not a restoration, but this is for that kind of money. These are like the best deals. And oh goodness, sorry. So this is an official historical vehicle. It's got some flaking on it. This is a driven motor. It's on display. This is a factory original driven motor. This one doesn't have no price on it, but there you can screenshot that. Get the number if you're interested for this Roadster. It's a 28. This one looks like a 29. It's another popular butt guard on the grill. This goes out in front. There's that gap right there. There's your Auga horn. There's another 29 four-door. Oh, okay, so here's a good one. This is one that you don't see all that often. This is a 1931 Vicky. This has been fully restored. Or they call it a Vicky, but it's a Victoria, Ford Victoria. So they have the big front doors and the short back seat. And there's this little itty bitty bump on the back. There's no trunk. It's kind of like their version of the economy car of the time. It was like the best option. It was the best dollar value. There's not many of them around. And the other thing about the Victoria is, even though there is there's no visor on them, there's no sun visor on them. The sun visor is actually part of the aesthetic that I like about the Model A that the 32 doesn't have. So this Vicky, it's 31 Victoria. This is pretty nice. This is a good example of a Victoria. Most people can't tell the difference between a Tudor and a Victoria, but that's the difference. So here we go is the, it's another Roadster, 3031 Model A Roadster with the rumble seat. It's a fender mounted spare tire. This has got a radio antenna on it. That's new. Most of these cars don't have radio antennas. That's an add-on. Here we go. This nice sport coupe with the convertible top. It's an all fabric convertible top with the doors have windows. Your Roadster wouldn't have windows in the doors. It wouldn't have frames on the doors. This is very nicely apportioned. So right next to it is this fully removable convertible top on this Roadster. You see the Roadsters don't have windows on them. There's no thing to roll up the window or roll down the window. The windows aren't in the doors. The doors on the Roadsters are actually smaller. The doors on the Sport Coupe are larger. So here's a 4-door, 29. It's got the flower vases in it. Pretty funny. Another 4-door. There's another Sport Coupe. 30 or 31 Sport Coupe. There's a 28, 29 Roadster. I'll show you these vent windows on the Roadsters with the engraving on them. So rumble seats really small, really tight. No leg room, no room for your knees. Here's a primered up 4-door. Missing the back windows, one of the side windows. All right, so use this. See all this wood? The frame was supported in wood. So they had the metal frame and all of it was just filled with wood. That was your structure. Like it was just this tin can shell. They had all this wood in here. It's one of the reasons why a lot of these cars didn't really survive is they would get wet and then the wood would rot, or you get in someplace that's really rainy, inclement weather, and the metal would still be there, but the wood would just rot away. This Model A, 1930. This is very pretty. Burgundy lacquer paint. It doesn't have a price on it, but if you're interested, you can give them a call. It's got the fabric interior. It's got the rumble seat, the leather, a little luggage rack on the back, fender mounted spare tire. There's a lot of these. Nice 4-door, two-tone, the burgundy and the black with the pinstripe. That was your temperature sensor right there. If it started to boil, you'd see it. Well, a little airplane rotor, but here's another Roadster pickup. They're doing a little display over there. I want to hurry up and get over there, so we're going to do this is a Model T 1914. You can get the it's a turtle deck right here. There's a 1930, what we would call a C cab. They would just cut this out, and then they would use this as like a repair vehicle, delivery sedan. All right, so we're gonna walk over here. got the cutaway.
No, you don't. But you got some flashy stuff.
This is the four
You got a
banger.
little bit of flashy stuff.
There's your crank spinning. There's the transmission. The lights for the we just shifted the gear.
Don't normally get that.
Pardon me. Screenshot that, take a read of that. So there's your cam, there's your crank. See all your valve springs lifting, your exhaust and your combustion. You got the carburetor turned up so that you can see all this stuff. Oil pump
Yeah,
down
one
there.
difference about moving. That's correct. That's the number one and number two share the same intake. And it would get real awkward with one valve drawing air into nothing.
So here we have this. This is the Model T. Orange County Model T Club. They have their cutaway Model T engine. It's a little different.
No. You didn't spend anywhere near as much time painting it either. Yeah.
That's your Model A engine. That's how they connect it.
Yeah, you just put these in. It's just
All right. So we're gonna keep going. It's the Phaeton Model A 31. Their little tow hitch for their little wooden boat. That's kind of cool. I dig the little wooden boat. That's pretty snazzy. I can dig that. It's our 29 Roadster pickup. Some World War I era bicycles. Oh, it's a collapsible motorcycle, it says. Oh, there's the collapsible motorcycle. I couldn't see it. So here's a Model T. 4-door Phaeton. So here's what we typically cover. Here's some hot rod. This is some vintage build with the pie crust style cheater slicks. The bake light. Man, he's got to open the engine from the inside of the cab. There's no firewall. Well, there's a firewall, but the floorboard is cut out. I'll take that back. Here's a 59A flathead out of a much later Ford with a 32 grill. A little Ilco 2-gallon gas tank. See how they mount these lights up. Oh, they just got a little stand in the lights mounted to the frame. Look at your temperature. Oh, well, this one. Look at this one. It's a 32 with the suicide doors. This one's all tricked out. This is all tricked out. They got the little 8-spoke mags. Some custom Dick Bennett heads right there. Offenhauser intake converted to a modern 4-barrel. The 8BA block. 8BA was 49 to 53, I believe. That modern sewn into. It's got like a billet shifter on there. It's got an automatic transmission hooked up to this bad boy. So it looks like he's got about a 4-inch chop based on the window. See how small this window is? See how small this window is? This guy's got a chop on his too, don't get me wrong. This window is way bigger than this one. Those big old meats on the back. Yeah, we're gonna go through here. 347 cubic inch Ford small block modern in this 1930 Model A with a 32 grill. It's got the solid axle. He's got the chrome steelies. This is a very classic style build. This is a 50s style build. All right, now this is a T-bucket. That's what we would call it, a T-bucket. So right here, this Model T pickup. It's got a small block Chevy. We're going to interrupt our coverage so we can watch this 1940 Ford pickup drive away. They always look better when they're in motion. Alright, so back to the, they got the Model T solid axle up front. Got a small block Chevy all chromed out. They got this body. It looks like they took a Phaeton rear and just put the front door on it. And this teeny tiny little pickup bed. Teeny tiny little pickup bed. It's got coilovers in the rear, what looks like a Chevy 10 bolt. Those are what we call hairpins. It's a front axle locator. All right. So here's a, looks like a 32 5-window. This is all buttoned up, can't really see anything. There's another, what looks like a 32 5-window. This could be 30 or 31 that just has the that front gas tank filled in real well so that you can't tell. It's got a small block Chevy in there. This is a 33 5-window. It's got that suicide door. It's very modern interior with that burl wood in there. What we refer to as a Continental tire. 32 pickup. So here's what I was saying about the 32 pickups. So this cowl is different. So this is 32 cowl. You see they have the small block Chevy in there. They have the 32 standard grill. That's a car grill, it's not a truck grill. But the cab of the 32 has that front visor. The cab of the 32 has the same doors. Cab of the 32 stayed basically the same for 32, 33, and 34. This cab is very similar to the 30 and 31 Model A cab. Here we go, another 33 5-window. This is probably, of the early Fords, this is probably my favorite. This is the one that like gets everybody's attention with that shovel grill. It's got all the louvers on the hood, the suicide door. It's got a chop top, some custom leather interior. Look at the bead rolling on the doors. It's very impressive to me. I like that. That's really cool looking. All right, so 40 Deluxe 4-door. It's a Galaxy 500. So 35? Yeah, 35. 35. Sport coupe, technically, although they might call this a roadster at this stage, but it does have glass on the windows. All right, so it's dark where we're at. We're gonna hurry up and just kind of skim through this. Here's a nice 32 roadster with a blown flathead. That's what I found most interesting about this car, is that blown flathead. There's a vintage Corvette. Let's see if we can get a good view of this guy. We're under the bridge at the park. So that swooping boat tail style back window with the split greenhouse. Here's a 4-door. Call this a 33 4-door, I think. Here, and there's another 40 Ford pickup. '28 or '29 Woody. It's got some modern seats in it, I think. Those are jump seats out of a freaking airplane. Those aren't even car seats. It's a 51 Mercury convertible. Get a better view of that. You can try to screenshot that if you're interested in buying that car. But if you look at the price difference, the other guy had a Model A for like 12 grand. Here's a Chevy pickup. So that's 34. Here we go. We're getting back in the sunlight so you get a better view of this stuff. Really like this pinstriping. It's very neat looking. They call it Old Yeller. Say this is a 32. Here's a Chevrolet pickup. Let's say this is a 32 Chevrolet. It's a hot rod Shavit, guys. Get those cigar in there. Oh, this has got all the wood in there still. See that that fabric interior? I believe that was referred to as buckskin. It's not actual buckskin, it just has a very similar. Oh, so we have, these are some it's a Thomas aluminum head. So that's some very early speed equipment for these 3031 Model A's. I was assuming that I'd see some other intake improvements, but the aluminum got rid of the heat a lot faster than the steel head. So if there were issues with overheating, then they would swap to aluminum. It's a T-bucket. It's got the big spun aluminum. '28, '29 Model A pickup with a small block Chevy. 34. 34 5-window. So here's an old Duesenberg. Duesenberg, this isn't a Ford, but this is a very, very rare car. This has got Straight 8.
Quite a Ford. My Ford. Wow.
We're going to start the Duesenberg, but they had an issue. I don't know what's going on. It won't start. Don't worry about it later. So, 37 Ford. Some Model T Roadster, turtle deck. It's an old 5-window Chevrolet. It's a little for that guy. Okay, so we're gonna keep walking. We're gonna walk down the middle of all of these center cars. Pardon me, sorry about that. It's a 28 Model A. This looks like another 28 or 29 Model A pickup. It's got some nice wood engraving right there. Alright, so this is giving us a bad view because of the sun. So we'll focus on this side and then we'll come back down the other side. It's a 29 Tudor. This looks like a 30 or 31. Wow, we're getting a lot of glare. Here we have another 31. We'll let everybody else see what they can see. That's really dark. Glare from the window. So here's another Model T. Here's a Model T as well, Phaeton. Some wood wheels. There's a Model T Coupe.
Just don't forget it when we get home. I'll drive off with it.
This was back in the day. It's popular to just chop the top off of these. Then you have a all one-piece body roadster, as opposed to having the turtle deck.
Is it the root tire? Short wheelbase.
So look at this guy. All this patina.
It might be the big tires that make it look like a short wheelbase.
The Ford Sun toolbox. So this is a custom built, what we would call a whippet. So they put that truck bed on the back on purpose because during the war, you didn't have fuel rations for the trunk. So it was a different fuel ration for the truck. So you got more fuel if you had a truck. So people would cut off the cab and they would turn their vehicle into a truck. Excuse me. It's live. That was a live sneeze right there. It's a 30 or 31. This would be a work truck. This would be a service panel. So they would cut the cab off again, and they would put wood up to make their own panel wagon. Glenmore Garage did that one. It's a 30 or 30, no, it's 28, 29 two-door. Look at those orange wheels. It's really eye-catching. It's got the fabric interior. Cut over here, get these guys driving. Here's a panel van. This is a factory panel. So it would come from the factory with that metal siding where the window would go. Had extended body. This is 30 or 31. The swinging panel rear door. It's another. Okay, we're gonna get this guy right here. All right, so this is a Roadster pickup. It's a 2829 Model A. So this has a Mare Cruiser 4-cylinder. It's a boat motor. This has got a modern carburetor on it. Some custom exhaust. Got nice intake. Oh, the banjo steering wheel. Those were very popular. Expensive as well. Some custom clad interior. I really like this car. This car's really nice. Here's what we call a rat rod. This does not. This is a much bigger than a Model A frame. So this car has been cut to go over. We call that channeling. Go over this bigger frame. It's got this long straight six motor in there. Looks like a Ford 200-inch straight six. And then a custom truck bed. It's got the battery on the side. You really see the Z in the frame right there. Channeled rear end. This is home-built ingenuity. This is how people used to do it back then. You just take what you got and make what you need. So here's a Roadster pickup. It's a 28 or 29 Roadster pickup. So this is a 40s dashboard. This isn't, got some more instrument gauges on there you wouldn't have on a Model A pickup. This guy's made some modifications to this one too. He's got those big old tires stuffed under those fenders. And then a 28, 29 Roadster pickup. It's got the vintage skinny wheels on there. The idea was the skinny wheels, that all the weight would be sitting on those thin, so your actual pressure traction would be better. There's some mathematical basis to fit that, but because of the small contact patch, you actually had the higher ability to lose traction. They figured that if all your weight was on one small spot, it'd be like an ice skate. And They didn't think you would spin out, but you end up doing that quite a bit if you got wet or inclement weather. So here's a nice Tudor 30 or 31. There's that etching in the glass of the window. The steering wheel, spinner handle. Nice colored wheels. This is 1930 on the license plate. Here's another 30. Some of their wood paneled wagon people carrier. I like the customization that they do. The woodwork is really nice. Really nice. See if we can get a look on the inside of that guy. This is just fabric windows right here. Just stitched fabric. It's another 28 or 29 pickup. So here we go. It's a 1930. It's nice green, olive green. Original dash. Clean seats. Look at the woodwork in the trunk. '28 or 29 Roadster. There's a pleated seat, little leather door panels. Very nice. I like this one. It's a full fender car. You see the step rails right here and the rumble seat. So this guy is a 1930 coupe. He's got his engine bay open. This is a stock Model A motor, bone stock. We have that fold-out luggage rack, salesman rack. It's another panel. I wish I could get a better view of this because it shows. Can't see with the glare, but it's got all this wood paneling on the inside of the panel truck. Oceanside. It's a farm truck. It says the double doors on the back. See if we can get a peek inside. You can't really see it, I'm sorry. I'm trying to show you the wood paneling that they had inside the panel trucks. It's a nice four-door. Alright, it's a 30 or 31 coupe right here. The sun's fighting us. The sun is fighting us. We're just going to work through. We're going to come through on the other side. We're going to come through the back. Here's a nice flathead hot rod, full fender, hoodless, dual carbs. Oh, look at that instrument cluster. That's pretty neat looking. Alright, so this guy is all chromed out. Let's see if we can get a better view. So this looks like Model A motor with a Miller overhead valve conversion. See it on the other side. Look at how it's got all this chrome decorations. That dual carb intake with the drop down headers, custom headers. Hot rod pickup. This is an old custom, what we call a lead sled. It's so chopped and flared and look at that interior. It's all leather padded. Alright, here's another 33 or 34. This doesn't look like it's got a chop top. The chop really gives it that sleek look. It also reduces your drag coefficient. 33. So you would go faster on the dry lakes. Here's 36 Phaeton. We're gonna walk through this way. The sun is in our favor this way. Oh, there's a Hemi in that one. This should be a panel as opposed to. Oh, we got the Oldsmobile Rocket. The triple Stromberg 97s. Oh, it's a two-door, but it's actually a panel. This is 29.
Oh, really? So they have, yeah, I imagine those over.
29 Roadster. There's another Tudor. What do they got here? Oh, the shackles. Have to come back and get a couple shackles. This is the Model T Phaeton. See if you can get a screenshot of that 1919 Model T Touring. They want 15 G's for this guy. This is a Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Look at the sun just glare off of that guy. Oh goodness, that's beautiful. Another Model A Coupe. It's 28 or 29. Got that stock motor in there. I like looking at how they did all this stuff. So this would be another Phaeton. I don't know what this guy's doing here, but he seems to enjoy it. Pardon me, I didn't mean to cut you off like that. Here we go. Model A 2829 Phaeton or Touring Coupe. Touring Sedan. This is a 32 Tudor, based on a 32 frame. Our 32 has a small block Chevy in it. There's a fabric seat. It's a Model A Coupe. 1930. Oh, here we go. Here's another Model T. It has a whole bunch of antique trunks in the back. These are very neat looking. Get out of the shadow. Sorry about that. Pardon me. This is custom wood interior. Look at the roof. It's just a bunch of like teak boards. It's got a sliding door. Oh, look at that custom intake exhaust right there. That's some pretty neat stuff. That's old speed equipment. Look at the tiny little carburetor on that bad boy. All right. Look at his hood. All right, fellas. Must be getting late. People are starting to leave. I don't think they're standing in the way of the camera on purpose, but it's a little frustrating for me. They have just as much right to be here as I do, if not more. They might actually have a car here, but mine's in the garage. 1930 or 31 Model A. Here we go. It's a two-door touring Phaeton. 31 Ford Phaeton with 32 grill. Guy in the 40s trying to get out of there. A 1940 Ford. I can't wait. We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna finish our walk around. There's another Roadster pickup. It's got very modern paint, very modern interior. Modern dash. It's a very chromed out firepower Hemi. Chrysler, looks like a 354. It's a 34. 34 has a 8BA with Offenhauser heads. Eddie Meyer dual carb intake with double Stromberg 97s. That Rico starter. It's got an Iski racing cam apparently. It's got a tag for it. '28 Roadster. Appears to have a Corvette motor. This Corvette valve covers. Small block Chevy, to say the least. It's getting very crowded. People are starting to leave.
He gave us his address. He said, come and visit me.
Here we go. It's a 30 or 31 Model A with a Chevrolet V8. Very clean job. 1930 Model A coupe. Let's look at the interior. Exposed doors. Vintage instrument cluster. I have an overhead valve engine. Looks like another Mercury Marine engine. So that is a stock Model A block, but it has a Krager valve cover on it, so it looks like they did an overhead valve conversion.
Out in Yucca Valley, it was on the news, like, the whole top of the town. Yeah, and I was like,
Oh yeah,
came up and got the garage
They got
door
the
like this,
dual
and then
carbs.
ripped it off. My dad had to get a
The Reds
garage door
headers.
and replace all the windows. They broke every single window in the house. So they could shoot the tear gas.
Yeah, they did the overhead valve conversion, which is very popular. Speed equipment edition. So this looks, could be mistaken. No, that's a Ford. It's 28 or 29 Ford pickup. Then we have a Model T touring car. That big old brass radiator. Those are so expensive. It's got the stock Model T motor. Green 28 or 29 Tudor. It's got modern tilt steering in there. Here's a Model T Roadster. Okay, so we've seen this Model T Speedster, the Model T Swap Meet, but I still like it. These springs are, got the radiator. The sun glaring right at us. I think I can get this guy leaving. Oh, that's the Victoria. All right. Oh, big Model T. This looks like an old fire truck. Oh, it's a town car. This is an old town car. They had a custom body put on the Model T frame. Here's another Model T. Model T touring car. Look at that wood on that.
That's so funny.
Hey, Jason, I'm actually having
Oh, it's got a telegraph in there. That's pretty funny.
I see your practical you have in out of orange.
I have them on that. The nice pretty, but not good for children.
No.
It's and in the era, it would have been very appropriate to do the swap. I'm not out of bounds.
Leather repair.
I was just going to tell you that, remember, Dan tried
I love the patina on these old cars. Look at this being held together by a vise, a C-clamp. 28 or 29 coupe. Look at all the patina, all the character in this guy. It's radiator shells, full fendered. Pardon me. Some custom paint on this guy.
Sounds like it was their makeup.
All right, well, if you missed the coverage, this is where about halfway through, we're gonna come back to this engine right here. It's a cutaway of a Model A banger. All right, this is where we're going to end our coverage. Thank you guys for watching. Please check out the rebroadcast because I know you guys missed some of this. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all the subscribers. Appreciate all the views. This is Pit Stop Ranch from the Orange County Model A Ford Club Pancake Breakfast in Orange County, California. You guys have a good day.